I woke up that morning and everything was sped up 31%. It seemed that would cut 10 minutes off the video frame. And I decided that things were starting to shape up just a little bit. Maybe I needed some ceilings. Maybe I needed a few new walls. Maybe I needed to do a lot of things. But man, I had been getting busy. I had made seating areas for my settlers, and everything was groovy, baby. The water was no longer along the burdensome river where rads flow, and the water was instead coming from the sweet, sweet earth deep down. I had moved my purifiers next to the workshop that had already been set up there by somebody who died about 200 years ago, or maybe they entered the vault where they're cryogenically frozen like a popsicle. I ought to go in and try someday to ascertain who actually lived in each of these houses. That would be kind of interesting. Maybe I will visit Vault 111 at some point and kind of look into that. But right now, I got fences to mend. I've got melons to move. I've got things to do, and I'm in a groove. Because that is how things go out here in the wasteland when I am starting to feel good. And baby, I feel good. I have built a cage, and some Brahmin will eventually be attracted to it, therefore coming to our farm and producing fertilizer. There's plenty of plastic in the world. I mean, plenty of plastic. So I'm not going to have an issue with plastic. All I need to do is fertilize and fertilize and fertilize. So one Brahmin coming to town is one thing. But I decided that after moving the girls up to the side of town where I'm at, and Chuck, well, Chuck has been outshacked. That's sort of like being outcast. I got to keep an eye on that dude. Anybody who wants to wear a beanie when they got a nice suit, that's someone who's just a little off kilter. And another thing, the guy won't talk to me. He just complains when he does. And I'm kind of like not into that stuff. He has never visited the Monument a single time. And it is known that the best way to get on my good side is to visit the Monument, just to pay your respects, not just to Sean, but to all of those loved ones that were lost by someone. Because after all, this place got scorched, and baby, by scorched, I mean stuff got kind of ruthlessly torn apart by mankind's greed. I'm a good guy. I mean, don't get me wrong. Here in the apocalypse, I'll shoot you on sight. But in my heart of hearts, way deep, buried down below, in my tiny, tiny heart, smaller than any Grinch's, I have love for people. I mean, like, I'm kind of cool. Like, so what if I blow their heads off without even asking them who they are unless they respond to my beacon? And for some reason, if you come to my settler beacon, it's like you're a friend of mine that I've known for like all my life. And I don't treat you like some scum raider out there in the wasteland at all. I don't know if this is part of the program. I don't know if this is part of reality. I don't know why this even works, but it does. And so I'm not going to really question much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to progress. I'm going to continue to build, to inspire. And by building and inspiring, my settlers will thrive out here in the wastelands. I'm feeling a little ill. Make some antibiotics is such an easy feat. It's kind of like, come on, Bethesda. This mechanic is just annoying. It's not actually a real game mechanic. I like the extra damage that the enemies do against me and the diminished damage I do against them because it really makes me feel like a badass when I actually prevail in a battle. It's not like I just walk through and barely even sneeze and the whole screen dies like Fallout 76. I don't get to be level 10,000 from throwing nuclear grenades in West Tech. In fact, enemies don't respawn for days, and in survival mode without fast travel, it makes it pretty hard to level up. And unless you're spamming fence post in settlement mode, you're not going to level up that fast without console commands or cheating your ass off. But as I run this Starlight Drive-In, I am anticipating that there will be at least a settler, maybe two, waiting there for me, and they are going to be ecstatic to find out they don't have to stay in that place. The jog was brisk that morning, but really I encountered relatively zero elements of danger along most of my familiar route. And this felt pretty cool because, like, sometimes you could just be running through this area and run into a random feral ghoul or something. And that isn't cool. Yeah, maybe an annoying rad roach or two, but it's alright. I do what I want, and they don't get to do what they want. And as a result of that, I get to loot the outhouse because I'm out of my house right now and I'm out in the wasteland exploring. Not really, totally exploring. Just making my route back to Starlight to see if there are new recruits. And I'm really hoping there are, because as much as I love everybody in Sanctuary, there's not enough of us. We need more. Oh, wow. Check it out. I'm not even going to ask their names. I'll find out once they get to Sanctuary. Let's just get them out of here. There's no food here. And we never know when Art of War is going to show up in that corner. And I don't want Art shooting these guys. Like, that isn't cool. I just want to make sure everybody shows up. But I think that may be everybody. So we might scrap a random thing or two, but at the end of the day, I do think we have basically led everyone back to Sanctuary. So let's try and trek back there ourselves, I guess. There's not much to do around here. Wait, did I send her? Hey, go to Sanctuary. Oh, yeah, I did. I sent her. Okay, she's just already on her way. So that is really cool. I am just going to probably jog right back up there. I mean, what the heck? Why not? Arriving at Sanctuary was a breeze. It was almost like nothing happened in between. And like, I have no video representation of it at all. But that's not true. The trip was so mundane that I decided just to cut it out. I mean, after all, it's all about settlers, right? It's all about filling the flop house with new people, new recruits. After all, everybody but Shayna is gone from the house itself, and Shayna has taken over being manager of the upstairs. So I'm just going to hang out. I'm going to wait. I'm going to make sure that everybody shows up. And then I'm going to give them their proper assignments. The truth is I really want them not to blend in. I don't want them to think that they have it sussed. I don't want them to think that they've been accepted as citizens of Sanctuary. Being a citizen of Sanctuary, you need to be able to spill blood. And by spilling blood, it better not be your own, because out here in the wasteland, we don't have doctors, especially not here in Sanctuary Hills. Now, there are rumors of a couple doctors out there in the world, but come on, they're probably few and far between. Now, here are the new recruits now. Look at their new home. It is going to be exciting, and guess what? They get to wear Vault 111 suits, looted from the vault itself. This dude, what? Oh, his name is Osborne. Right on. This dude is going to lose all of this stuff and get his new digs on. Now, a hot rodder shirt, it's too good for him. So he's going to get a shiny Vault 111 vault suit. I'm going to reduce him to 1 round because, let's get honest, the game doesn't care how many rounds the settlers have. They have infinite ammo. Once they get down to 1, they never run out. And this chick, Kat, same treatment, except for she's getting a vault utility suit. And the reason why is because they're kind of baggy. And, you know, I don't want Sinead being jealous of Kat. So we're just going to go ahead and make Kat look a little blocky. And we're going to go on over here and check out this other chick, Vera, and do the same thing. This chick, she's too old for anybody to care about her anyway. But she's got a kind heart, and she's got kind eyes, which makes me believe that she's probably an Institute synth. The reason they all get to wear suits is simple. They don't blend in at all. Even Chuck gets a little bit of discretion. But Chuck, he's been outshacked. And being outshacked is almost the same as being outcast. Don't make that mistake yourself. If you wind up in the little shack by the garden, that means I'm watching you. That means I'm paying attention. And you notice Chuck is right there, right in the business, trying to figure out who these people are, checking Kat out. It's crazy. I do not trust Chuck. And that means that he may be relocated at one point. After all, we have melons to farm. We have things to accomplish here. And the things that we need to accomplish should not be hampered by someone we cannot trust. Someone who won't speak to us. He has never thanked me for anything. I built the dude his own dedicated shack. Yeah, it's to watch him, but that doesn't matter. He's got his own space. Everybody else, including me, shares their space. But Chuck doesn't care. He takes everything for granted, unlike Vera, and she's like getting right down to it, and Kat too. Kat's just checking out the environment, and they're all getting ready to do what I tell them. But the thing is that Chuck won't even talk to me. He won't talk to me. He won't talk to me. No. So I walked up to Chuck, just yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, Chuck?" And he just looked at me. Blank stare, and I go, "Get it? Up, Chuck?" He didn't even laugh. But Osborne, he loved his new guard setup as soon as I gave it to him. Osborne is the real deal. He's got grit. He's got personality. He's a decent guy, I can already tell, which makes me think he's probably a synth. I don't trust anyone, man. I don't trust anyone. Everywhere I go, it's all lies. Even Lucy's smile seems like a lie to me now. Yeah, I know. I wanted to marry her. But then again, maybe my brain had been cryogenically preserved for 200 years, and maybe it wasn't working and firing on 100% efficiency, I guess, right? Like, I still can't even complete a sentence like perfectly at all. I stumble, I trip, I fall. I am not Oxhorn. Okay? And the reason why is because maybe Vault Tech was evil after all. They froze me. And some dude showed up and he shot Nora and he took Sean. Yeah, I joked that Nora was cold in the end. But if you never got that joke, if you didn't see that episode, go back, watch season 1, episode 2, and find out. But I said, Nora could be cold sometimes. And in the end, she was ultimately severely cold, right? Well, I was just trying to make a dark joke about the cryostasis that she was in. And when she warmed up, some bald dude with a freaking scar across his face, who I plan on decapitating if he's still out there, shot her and took my son. So I am farming melons in anticipation of my melon farm becoming a jet farm, and for Brahmin, glorious, weird-looking, freaky, ugly cow things to show up and poo all over my pasture, giving me infinite fertilizer. And then I shall go out there in the wasteland and scavenge plastic. And that plastic will get things done, because I will be able to make jet. And that jet will be easy to transport throughout the wasteland, becoming instant currency whenever I need it. Because jet is the way. Every settler took to their assignment like a champ. The cage, it just stands there waiting in anticipation of the day that a two-headed freak cow will show up. And then our adventure will really start to take a new form. I'm already building up money. I've already got a fusion core, maybe 2, and I just need about 1 more. Then I will be on my way to 81, and I will pick up my gun, the Overseer's Guardian. Man, who could believe that I would have done so much already? And looking at Osborne going to work just sets my heart at ease, knowing that there is no way to invade from 111 that is. Not without Osborne shooting you square between the eyes. And if you do make it through the gate, there's a spike trap for you. And we'll be waiting. We will be waiting. 'Cause in Sanctuary, I am the law. And in Mega City, Judge Dredd is the law. But here, in Sanctuary, Kuma is the law. I can wait it out. I'll wait for the sacred cow. I'll pick melons. I'll help everybody. But my day and my hour is drawing near. Soon, we're gonna all be high on jet, hanging in this room. Maybe I'll build a jukebox. Maybe even a pool table, even though we can't interact with it and never will be able to because Fallout 4 is now an old game and no one wants to build as many games for it. Unless it's mods. But Bethesda, they've moved on to dumb stuff like Starfield that nobody really cares about. Bethesda can't even give us a Fallout 3 remake so that Three Dog can shine again. But the day is coming for this particular game file of Sanctuary to again shine like a beacon of hope, a shining beacon of hope against all who would ruin and ravage humanity. Because I am Kuma, and I will see you again on episode 13.